right, at this time, I will call the Franklin Township Board of Trustees regular business meeting for March 21st, 2024 to order, and I would ask Trustee Fleshman if he would open us in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, the opportunity to serve our township. Be with those the kids, be with us today that are sick. And Lord, we just ask for healing for them. And Lord, we just ask for praises today. Amen.
Chief Arnold, will you lead us in a pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Justice, will you please give us a roll call?
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. All right. We do have a couple of speakers today, and I've been asked to, is the Zoom call ready? Bear with us a moment. All this new technology. About the flock rules.
While we're doing this, sir, do you want to have the...
Yeah, we can have Chief,
kind of tell us a little bit and then he gets on.
Hi. How can I help you?
Hello, Mr. Mazur, are you able to hear us?
I am. How about you? Can you hear me all right?
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Mike, I'm gonna turn my laptop so you can address the three trustees.
Okay.
And then we have speakers that the audience can hear you as well.
Okay.
Perfect. Just give me 1 second, I'll adjust this. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Looks like something got tapped.
now she's bringing up all.
There we go. All right,
What's
I
your
can
name?
see three of you. Is that everybody?
Yeah, then we have Steve on one side and our fiscal officer, Ms. Justice, on the other.
Sounds great. Well, Mike Weaver, I'm with Flock Safety. I've got my colleagues from the Community Affairs team, Hector and Vaughn. Was the chief able to brief you before we clicked on the Zoom call?
We had just asked him to step up when the Zoom call kicked in, so no, he has not.
All right, Chief.
That's our fault.
Chief, I'll let you give an introduction.
Okay, are we all familiar with the block cameras?
I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay, so Havenwood has, I believe, 2 or 3 block cameras. What they are is they're like LPR cameras where they do license plates. They're connected with NCIC. They run the plates. It's how we get warrant hits, stolen vehicles, missing persons. Havenwood gave us access to theirs back when they got them several months ago. So we caught numerous stolen vehicles inside Havenwood. Warrant hits, those kind of things. Prairie Township, I believe, just got several out there on Prairie, or they're in the process of. Whitehall has them all around their city.
Yes, they need it.
Yes, yes. Columbus has several. So now, Flock has a new policy
If you need
where,
any information, they
in order
look
for us
from
to
him, would
participate
be
in
right
purchase
here.
and have access to other cameras, we have to purchase at least 2 cameras. Yeah, so that's what the presentation is for. There's numerous, go ahead, John.
What I wanted to do for the audience that first has heard this, I've been went out with the lieutenant one time, and the flock camera, it's a camera that sits on a bolt, you don't even realize it's there.
You're not gonna
Every time a car passes,
claim with your
it
insurance
runs
company
the
out?
plate. If there is a one-foot
Technically, the way it's
person,
done is you call
and
your
that's their
insurance
car,
company and you give
or
them
if the
their
car was just
information.
reported stolen, in the case
Can
I
call
was
the
out with them,
insurance
that
company
happened.
Directly,
So,
if he was at fault.
we got
The accident,
notified that
you can call-
a camera
you can
just
call your
passed
insurance
a
company,
car
say,
that
"Fill
was
out a
just
claim
stolen
without having to go through your
from
insurance."
Delaware, just past that camera. Why is a car that just got stolen over here? So we turned around, we went over there, we looked, we found the car, and it was just parked in a spot. So we were able to quickly retrieve that car. But the biggest part is with serious warrants and things of that nature. We're not getting a call from a neighbor saying Billy Joe that has been looked for is here. They don't even really pay attention. We're notified, and it's a surprise to them that we kind of circle them and be able to get them. So it's a great tool.
You
Yeah,
attempted a
yeah,
U-turn and
absolutely.
hit him in his
It's,
passenger side.
Worked out, it's helped us with numerous arrests.
Well,
out of that.
or maybe you were changing lanes and did you hit him in his passenger side?
Warrant hits, you know, all that kind of stuff, so. It is a great tool, it'd be a great investment.
Do you have any statistics on exactly
Okay,
how
as
many
a
stolen
unit,
cars?
you say that you went to
Yeah,
Marsh
I
and struck
did.
the side of him,
Okay.
stating.
Would you please? Tables, floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Chief. A little difficult to hear just the way the microphone was facing, but I'll let Hector, take over and, just explain what flock is and what it's not.
Awesome, and since there's a couple of us here on the screen, I'll explain who we are as well.
Okay, so the officer said that whether you were merging or doing a U-turn, it doesn't matter.
Vaughn is new 19, but he is a resident of the Miami Midwest, so he will be taking care of, agencies in your area, and then of course, Michael is the territory sales manager, for Flock, also based in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. I'm based out of Los Angeles, so don't hold that against me. But today, I'm going to go ahead and present some information on the Flock system. I think what the chief was reviewing with you all, and it was a little hard to hear, but I got some of it, which is kind of why he's bringing this technology to your community, or why this is part of his vision to solve crime in this community. I think it's important to start off by providing you all with some background on Flock, who we are as a company, and what our values are. So we were founded as a response to a real uptick in crime in our CEO's neighborhood several years ago, around 2016, 2017. Like many of you, he had video footage, so did his neighbors. They went to law enforcement. It was the first time that they had really victims of crime, burglaries, car break-ins, etc. And the local police department, was like, really want to solve this. Men and women in law enforcement, are really be out there every day trying to solve crime. However, the feedback that they provided him is that there is not an actual piece of evidence. Right? We see the vehicle, but we don't have a plate. We don't see, we don't have a way to follow up and try to put the pieces together as to who's behind these crimes. And so, upon listening to this, our CEO did an extensive amount of research, and he found out several things. First thing that he found was that license plate readers, which is what basically they were asking for, have been around for a while. First models were actually based in the United Kingdom. Since then, however, the prices of cameras have not come down substantially. They're actually tens of thousands.
Yeah, they're every other Thursday.
And with purchasing a camera, this township, in this case, would have to purchase, install, and maintain that camera, right? So it's something being used by the police department, maybe being installed by your public works team, and maintained by them. So really kind of taking a lot of resources. And then, just like any type of equipment, you purchase it now, in a year or two, it's not the greatest, it's having issues. And so that's something that he saw as very common. The other thing that he saw that was really disturbing to him was that a lot of the legacy providers of license plate readers were sharing data or selling data to tow truck companies and other third parties. And so, as I mentioned, he's thinking of a solution for his data, right? And so that just didn't sit well with him. So that's where Flock got its start. We are a software as a service model, so we install and maintain the cameras for you all. We also never will share the data, because again, we started off in our studio, so that's a really big part of what we do. And then today we're in over 4,000 communities, including some HOAs as well as commercial shopping centers, etc., hospitals, you name it. So a little bit of background on Flock. I'm actually going to go ahead and skip a couple of slides and go talk about the opportunities. So just as I I mentioned earlier, this is an opportunity to multiply voice, this force, capture, and distribute that evidence that they need, right, to the right users, and then engage the community, right, to support and grow your law enforcement team. Now, let's go ahead and dive into how the technology actually works. Top right-hand corner of the screen, that is an image that represents what your police department would be seeing, right? They're seeing the back of the vehicle, the license plate, and then the make, model, and other, what we call vehicle fingerprint type of filter. Right? So we have a backpack, etc. What you can't see here, though, is that there's no people, there's no facial recognition, and this is not traffic, right? Your department will, however, be receiving NCIC alerts on stolen vehicles, felony vehicles, amber alerts, silver alerts, or amber alerts when you missing your children, silver alerts are elderly individuals, many times would get lost. And so, what this is not, so as I mentioned, this is not tied to personal identifiable information. And how do we define that? Flock itself does not have any TMV records, third-party databases saying John Smith is in that car, John Smith owns that car. We are providing your law enforcement team with a lead on a wanted vehicle or a vehicle that matches the description of something that you're looking for. We also need a large provider of information, and we have a 30-day retention policy, right? That's our standard retention. What does this mean? Well, what we've seen is that the law enforcement needs tools to solve crime, right? And that's what we're trying to provide your law enforcement team. But also, folks expect some level of privacy, right? And so this balances that out by automatically deleting every single image at the 30-day mark. And how do we mitigate these risks, right? How do we protect privacy? I mentioned this already in the beginning, right? But it's important to kind of talk about again is that your city will own this data. We will never sell or share any of that information. Only your police department can share that information within the system for legal law enforcement purposes. And then also, all of that data is stored in AWS cloud, and it's end-to-end encrypted, right? And so what that means is the highest level of security, really the gold standard here. But we take a step back and remember, these are images of the back of vehicles. There's nothing associated with a person, right? So you want to mention that. There's also a search reason required, and there's an audit trail capability, right? So the system is going to require that your police department enter in a search reason, and your policy, your LPR policy shares with you all, but that might be something that the chief shares in the future. That policy is going to be something along the lines of there's a case number requirement, this is a call for service every single time. That provides an audit, you provide an audit tool, your policy will explain or how those audits are performed. We also created a unique transparency portal.
Right here?
To Flock. This is a live web page where any of your residents can go and look. This is updated daily.
And then there's a house
how many
behind it.
cities you're sharing with, how many searches you're performing, what your policy is, any success stories, right? A lot of police departments will update this frequently, weekly, bi-weekly, with their latest success stories.
Way back here, there's a house, and then there's
And so let's just break down how the technology works again, just three different facets, right? So it's important for you to know that there's that proactive part. I talked about this a little bit. Your police department's going to be receiving alerts. So those alerts get sent to what's called an MDT, or the computer in the vehicle, like the patrol squad car. That computer will be receiving alerts in real time. I'm saying there's a stolen vehicle in the city, right? So that's within 20 seconds of that vehicle being seen. It's investigated, right? So there's a call for service, there's a reason to search for a specific vehicle type of
right here
number will search for it, and then that investigation continues. It's also a deterrent. I want to say we ran over
And it looks like his mailing address is on
120,
Wilshire.
130 cities in Ohio. I might be completely off there.
Like
how
South
many cities are we at today?
Yeah, you are at 280.
See, I knew I was off. Ohio is
There isn't.
definitely one of our top cities.
There isn't, like, I know the address is on mail or something.
Today, so you would be joining that network. And how are we solving crime in Ohio? This is just a small sampling of those 280 cities in Ohio.
Correct.
But we're assisting in robberies, such as this one in Ontario, Ohio, at a shopping center. We're assisting with homicide, right? So in Dayton, Ohio, officers responded to reports of a shooting, a deceased male victim on the scene. Officers queried the nearby flock cameras, right? Most times there is a vehicle that people are using to get in, away or to that scene of the crime. And so they looked immediately to find that vehicle. They initiated a traffic stop. They found it. Suspect fled. Officers pursued and then were able to stop that person and arrest him. This is out of Whitehall. They are actually using our Raven devices in conjunction with license plate readers. So Raven is not being discussed today, but that's a gunshot detection device. They did not, they received an alert from the gunshot detection. They were on their way, and that's when they received a call from 911 for the shooting. So they actually saved about 10 minutes of time where somebody could have been shot and potentially saved. When they got there, the shooting in and around the border, family, children, so that they were arrested safely. We had a situation where that was, and then also obviously they were arrested to and then another murder is out of TK. And just want to add, this is out of the Jamie where there have been some Amber Alert solved in Ohio. We actually, that we know of, helped solve over 150 missing persons in this. This one is extremely because of how rare this type of crime is, right? It's a stranger on stranger abduction, which is very rare. This mother was pushing her child in the stroller when two masked armed individuals came up to her and on her, took her child away. She actually did not get a license plate. She did get that vehicle description. She was a red pickup truck. They searched the system, they found a suspect vehicle, and they made the felony stop and arrest at one state away in Alabama, and reunited the vehicle with this mother by 6 people. So really kind of showing that impact of the vehicle fingerprint technology, which is not just license plate readers, but also that network and allowing law enforcement to work together as well. I know it's hard talking to you all. Would love to answer any questions that you might have.
So I have a quick question. Seeing how this worked, and with Ohio now going to, you don't have to have your front license plate, pretty much the flock cameras are catching the rear end, correct?
Yeah, so the cameras are focused on the back of vehicles because they have a machine learning, what we call the vehicle fingerprint. Actually, how a Toyota and a Honda car by the tail lights and things that are kind of in the back of the vehicle as well.
Okay. Because I know one of the biggest things is which direction, because one of my vehicles, I still run front license plate because I just never have changed it or taken it off, and Ohio now only has a one plate state, so I assume that we are looking at the rear, so I appreciate that.
You have nothing? I have no questions for you. I love the system. I've seen it work firsthand.
One thing I wanted to mention to the trustees is every jurisdiction surrounding you is a flock customer. So Franklin County Sheriff's, Columbus PD, Grandview, Upper Arlington, Obetz, Grove City. So your network's going to be greatly enhanced there in the township.
You saved our deputy that we have on hand a question I was going to ask him. Franklin County. I didn't know Franklin County was using it or not. Anything else for us?
That is our presentation. We are happy to answer any questions that may come up in the future. And then also if you decide to implement the system, Vaughn and my team is happy to help with anything with students and our community. That's part of our system as well.
Okay, Mr. Mazur has all your information in the sheet. Okay.
Okay, well, you gentlemen have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You as well, looking forward to it.
Thank you.
So,
Do you have an idea where you'd like to place a couple if we decided to go that way?
yeah, I was thinking maybe Franklin Brown is a really busy area right there. I'm not sure
And
which
it doesn't matter if
direction
you're a party
yet.
to it, I was just wondering.
Possibly
Public records, public records.
62 because Prairie's already got one at like Broad 270, I believe. I think Columbus has some further east. So there's already cameras in that area to catch. There's nothing down south. So that would be.
Well, you do have a couple areas that, and kind of in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
I would make a motion that, we would explore the pricing and, getting with fiscal and doing the appropriations and maybe bringing us a resolution to purchase them for PO.
Discussion?
Any discussion?
Yeah, is it possible, like, for instance, on any of these, that we can, A, have them in a car, B, make it mobile, so that if we wanted to set up at one place and then we want to set up in another area, that we would be able to?
No, they set those up. They have to come out and set them up.
I don't believe in a car. And I believe I'm not sure if they're solar or hardwired. I don't know, Dan, do you have any?
They can be both. They do have solar to keep the batteries recharged. They prefer to hardwire if possible. And they do the network capabilities, they do have to be stationary.
Sure.
At this time.
Gotcha. And does the county, do you guys still do license plate readers?
So the old system that we use that you'd see on the back of cars, we're transitioning away from those. They are now going to be integrated into our in-car camera systems.
Okay.
That is something they're testing right now that should be coming online hopefully by the end of this year.
Okay.
But so we will be having in-car, which is separate from the flocks, but the flocks are very
Sure.
18 of them.
Sure.
They're very. I'm one of the users, the admin for it. They're very useful.
Yeah, and I was out with the police when we found the car one time. It was incredible that how quickly it worked, and the stealthiness, because the bad person doesn't even know you're onto them. The other thing is, I would love to see what, for in the future, what would it look like for our cars to have the capability to have the camera system that the county's going to?
We could look at the cost. I mean, I'm sure Watchguard has, because you guys are totally using Watchguard.
It is.
So
It's supposed to be integrated. With
Yeah,
the
that's all inclusive, so it would be significantly, I think, more to have those cameras with me and certain stuff that we can look at.
And I'm
You got the
curious,
room.
yeah, and I'm curious too, you know, as we see Franklin Township grow and the things that are coming and et cetera, it's nice that it gives us that one more edge to be competitive, to say, not only do we have a full-time police department, but we also have these different technologies, and eventually it would be nice to see that on the corner of, West Broad Street and Philippi of some sort, as areas in that area grow, because the more you can combat or show that you can curb crime in an area, the more you're gonna bring someone that's gonna invest heavily into that area. So, and also, Mr. Mazur, if you have the ability, or if you hear, I mean, you're already working on enough grants as it is, but that would be something, I would be curious if there's any type of grants or matching grant that we would be able to get. And same with you, Chief, I would ask that you look for any grants, because we were one of the first departments that got the body cameras.
Right.
We had them before the sheriff's, thanks to a grant that your work, so.
With Mr. Mazur's plate, I think that the chief could run with that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I know your plate's busy too, but his is overflowing right now.
Keep rising.
Yeah.
Cause it would be nice, cause I mean, you guys found the one grant for the, I mean, it's something that we had body cameras before the sheriff's did. That's unheard of.
But we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Could you give us a roll call?
Was there any other discussion?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. I figured Mike would speak up.
I know, I just wanted to make sure he had an opportunity.
Now, gentlemen, just because it was ready, I mean, we have a resolution for that.
Oh, we do?
If you'd like, but it can always be tabled. I know you like to have this discussion first, but I just.
Do we have a cost?
Do we have a cost?
We do.
We have the supplemental appropriation ready.
The,
Well,
cost
that's what I just.
is not to
I
exceed
didn't have it.
$10,000.
For one camera?
The initial quote, I'm gonna give it back to the chief, I apologize, chief. It's, $9,672.36.
Steve, that's for the redaction software, for the body cameras?
I'm sorry, good, that's why I,
Okay. That's why you didn't know about
So,
it.
so do we have, we don't have,
We have not discussed, it's about $3,600 a
Okay.
year per camera. But we have not nailed down where, how to come up with it. Yeah.
Okay, bring it back to us.
So that's a lot cheaper than 9,000, so, yeah.
Yeah,
We've already dealt with that.
that's why I threw the ball back at you.
I got you.
Thank you, Chief. Is there anything else for us on this?
Not for the flock cameras, no. So it's presentation
We'll
only.
bring you back up in a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Miss Patty.
I have a few things.
Okay. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good one. We'll have a good one.
You do have this, I thought you.
A couple of things. On March 29th, which is next Friday, there's going to be a tour of the Police Training Academy, on North Hague Avenue. It's limited to 20 people. I've got information if anybody would like to RSVP.
Again, when is that?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, the 29th, March 29th. Also, the city is conducting a homelessness survey, and I have information. It's from the Community Shelter Board, and I have information if anybody wants to take the survey. But they want to get a better understanding about housing and homelessness. Then we also have, our Reed Center, is also now a part of the Homeless Prevention Network. And if you know anyone that is on the brink of homelessness, I have information here on who to contact, for them to contact. Also, the last thing I have is a Bike Plus open house. And this is from the city of Columbus. And it's a plan to create a safe, connected, and comfortable network for people to bike, scooter, skate, and roll in the city. I think we all roll in the city. I think they mean rollerblade. Through transportation improvements like protected bike lanes, trails, crosswalks. They want to make it more convenient and enjoyable to get around the city of Columbus without a car. There's going to be public events taking place. The first one is next Tuesday, March 26th. And the one after that is Thursday, March 27th. And I have a link if you want to follow more of it. I think this has to do with like the bike connectability, because I know Southwestern Commission is working a bit with Grove City for the bike trails to connect, and then connect over into, just keep on going through the Scioto Parkway.
The side of the trail.
Yeah.
I know if I rode one of those scooters, I'd be rolling through the city. If I hit a crack or something.
Anyway, I'll leave these up here for you all. If anybody needs copies, I know Nicole will make copies, or you want to copy down the links.
Thank you so much. You always bring us valuable information.
I try.
We appreciate you.
I try. Thank you.
All right, moving back to Chief Smith. Now that we're on to department head report.
Now, Steve, so have you all had the opportunity to look at the quote for the action? It's more of a plug-in, not external software for the body cameras that I presented last week. So that is what Steve was heading into, was a supplemental appropriation of ARP money to cover it for 5 years, which is or also the contract with Lockhart for the body cameras so they match up. After 5 years, we would have to look at a new contract or renegotiate or. The reaction software is required. If we have the cameras, we have to be able to give them out. We cannot use the excuse we don't have the software, so we're not giving it to you. That only works until you get sued.
Yeah. You wanna read the resolution?
I have it, Chairman. It's resolution 2024-034. It's a resolution approving the use of ARPA funds to use body camera redaction software for the police department. And here resolved that the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves and authorizes the appropriation of ARPA funds not to exceed $10,000 specific to the purchase of body camera redaction software from Motorola for the Township Police Department. And attached is the exhibit with the invoice.
So moved as the resolution is written, and I would ask if there's any discussion.
I do, I wanted to ask the chief a question.
Okay.
At the bottom of the quote, it says, installation of the equipment is not included. So, unless otherwise noted. Second page, last bottom, so is it in the quote?
Yeah, the installation is the software installation into the program itself, if that makes sense. So this is all inclusive.
Okay.
According to them. I saw that too. And I think it's just there as a disclaimer, but everything that we need for the redaction software is included.
And then when it came to the cameras, did we not have to have the IT rev group help out with the cameras?
We certainly, well,
That's $675.
yes, we did.
So does that need to be included?
I don't believe so because it's going right into the software, the program we already have on the computer. So I don't believe there's any other things that they have to do.
So I want that.
I hope not. I hope there's no glitches. We don't always anticipate those, but.
Understood. I didn't think it was on purpose, but I just read that and it just clicked in my mind that I remember a conversation from a past meeting.
Yeah,
So,
I thought that too, and so should it be with this one?
okay.
Mr. Fleshman, you have anything?
The price of this, is this a year? Is this we own it?
It's kind of like a software plug-in. We own it for 5 years. We could do it for a year. I just had them break it down
I
to
see
5
that.
years, the length of.
So after 5, when I'm getting that, I
We no longer
apologize.
have access to it after 5 years.
Yes.
But
so-
the cameras are obsolete after 5 years, so.
Yeah.
So it's almost plug and play and pay, but at the end of 5 years, you end up with nothing.
Yeah, you're just paying for.
Gotcha. So basically $843 a year for 5 years. Understood.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Hang on, we got a resolution on the.
On that, any other questions
On
from the
this?
board?
No,
Okay.
I thought you meant anything else.
Any questions to the board? I have the resolution, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Lindsay, will you give us a roll call on that?
Jim,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Thank you. Now, Chief.
At a conversation with Sergeant Pollock, we have been approved by the state of Ohio for the traffic grant again this year. It is about $21,000. They will pay for overtime for traffic enforcement. There are certain times, click it or ticket around the holidays, that kind of thing. I have the information here. We just need a resolution to accept it, which I talked to Steve and he said possibly that could be prepared for the next meeting. At that point, I have the booklet here. I will work with the fiscal department to administer the grant. Sergeant Pollock will provide the actual stat details.
Okay.
I don't need to add something else Robin's plate, but
It's,
that's what they're here for. It's
that's
not
what they're here
intentional.
for, I mean, a grant helps a long way,
But I don't wanna leave $21,000 on the
No,
table.
no, can, in your reports to us, can you start letting us know how, and the public know, how the shifts are, you know, if we're, how the shifts are how the shifts are manned, I guess I should say.
The
Like,
coverage?
Yeah, the coverage, how we are on coverage on this shift, how we're on the coverage on that.
Like below 2, below 1?
Yeah, just so we can have a feel of, they can know and we can know of how many people we have out there on the streets at any one given time. We just wanna start getting more information out.
Okay. I don't know if I wanna tell that to the bad guys, but.
Well, no.
We will.
Are you doing stats, chief, cause it says stats, or are you done?
No, sir, I'm done. Those will be
Okay,
for.
I have a couple questions. So, you and I had a meeting set up for Tuesday?
We did.
Yeah?
Okay.
Did I did, you said, yeah, I sent you a text on Monday and said, could you come over to the hall between 9:30 and 10:30
Yes.
on Tuesday? You said yes, and then on Tuesday, you said you were on your way.
Right, when I get tied up. with
Okay,
funeral.
but I never heard from you.
Well, I called you and left you a message.
No, this was this Tuesday, just passed. I have it on my phone. We'll, discuss that afterwards, but I'm gonna go over what I wanted to talk to you
Okay.
about real quick, okay? MailChimp, we're up and running.
Yeah, it went out last night.
Yeah,
Everyone
I got it.
Okay.
Can you tell me about ones in the past? Because it seems like when you go in and look at it,
Mhm.
that we want like online with it. There was some downtime. Are you aware of that or not aware of it?
I'm not. I'll look into it. As in, they didn't go out, or as in content?
It looked like for several months, we never, put anything out.
Okay.
Am I right about that or not, Lindsay? Did you not look at it too?
I seen that also, yeah. It
I'll
looked like
have
there
to
was,
report for you.
looked like there was close to a year, that there was none,
Really?
none sent out, yeah. I can't remember the last time I signed up, one of the first ones. I
Did you
signed
get
up
it
for.
yesterday? 'Cause
I did get it yesterday.
So
yeah.
we're on now. You did what we asked you to do. I am getting them as of yesterday.
No, I'll check the, kind of the history.
Then the
Please.
parking on 3C Highway with the truck,
Yes.
the board had decided, I'm thinking you were in agreement that we're going to get a little more aggressive with that. And the reason being, when Todd went down there, he was 18 inches off the white line, 53-foot semi plus the tractor.
Right.
And that's a bus stop for children.
We didn't ask them for it.
No cones out, 18 inches off, and you're gonna be parked there for a significant amount of times. He should have at least had his flashers on and maybe even some cones out when we're talking 18 inches
No, I agree.
off the road.
Is he making deliveries, sir?
He is,
To the store.
Then he needs to go where deliveries are made. Isn't that designed for the back?
yes, and we talked about it at the last meeting that we were going to start asking for
I don't know
tickets
if that's
and
or not,
to get
but
this,
I'm
we're
going to
tired
see
of
if I
talking.
can get
Yeah,
them
yeah,
on.
we've
And so,
talked to them about that.
You've never been told about this, Byron, and that's, or chief, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
The administrator, CTO,
Tell your officers, if they see it, ticket it.
after, but I don't know what
We don't have his schedule, do we? It varies.
It does. It does. I'm happy if you want me to, since I seem to be the one that lives in that area, to let people know,
Yeah.
as I've done in the past. I want the grocery store to stay in business. I want everybody to know that. I just wanna make it safe for people to come out of my street.
That's our building.
So it would seem to me that, or behoove that the store owner can easily say, hey, if you're gonna deliver, come to the back.
I don't know that there's.
They have closed, that used to be a dock, and they have closed it off and put up a fence, so they're really truly, he has to do what Todd had him do. He has to back in to and take up their entire parking lot in order to get his truck off the road.
Yeah, but when Todd went down there, we talked about it, there was not a lot of parking, there wasn't any cars there, or not a lot. So he had room to get into the middle, more to the middle of the lot, to where if you're coming off of Ransford, you could see both directions.
Yeah, we're saying if he's 18 inches off the
Yeah,
wet
he's
line.
blocking the roadway.
Yeah, that's
Can't see around it to turn.
that's a hazard to turn out, there's a hazard to walking, hazard for the buses. There's a lot of hazards there, and we've given them ample warnings. And I guess the only way to get his attention is to give him a ticket.
1907 Harrisburg Pike, you got back with me on a tent, person living in a tent.
Yes.
Is that?
Legal?
Yes.
Yes, no.
Okay.
I say it that way because it would go to a zoning kind of thing. Is it sanitary to live in a tent beyond what you would consider camping? No, probably not.
Okay, well, I had to get back to the resident, and so that was their question to me, and so I would say, I'll let her know that we're gonna turn it over to zoning and let them decide.
Yeah, and the health department would be involved in that. If the business did not give him permission to be there, then we could, with their authority, we could remove it from the property.
I have two other things I'd like to speak to you in private about when it's over, but the last thing I speak to you in open meeting, can you give us an update on the new cars? I keep seeing them over there, and I'd like to know where we're at.
We are
on
waiting
new
for the
cars.
equipment to come in from the manufacturers,
Okay,
which they told us it could be up to 3 months.
okay, and then we'll get together.
The great supply chain issues that we have, I deal with it on a
Thank you.
daily basis.
Well, thank you.
Deputy Atkins, do you have anything for us today?
I know, I stopped in, I talked to, complained about, Finland, traffic's being hauled away. I talked to the
Okay.
district, the deputy superintendent about it, and their head of business also about it, so they're gonna try to get that fixed. I was gonna talk to the chief here afterwards, some of the, complaints on, Ray Avenue.
I was gonna say, I heard you was out there, walked off
I
through
walked
there.
it,
We appreciate that.
Properties in the LLC, so I'm working with Department of Commerce, a couple other places, to get that information, and also the Metro Parks, so anywhere it's on trails, like Valley View, whatnot, we're gonna try to get some of that cleaned up.
So what was the issue with, I missed it, Finland Avenue, what was that?
The trash being picked up.
The
that's,
dumpsters,
yeah.
In the evenings and early morning hours, so I did talk to the district about that, and they're gonna get trained.
Yeah, cause I mean, it doesn't make sense why they can't do it during regular business hours. I mean, it makes sense for a trash company because
They're in and out.
You're right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We're gonna get you on the schedule, so you'll follow the chief every month, every meeting now, so. Moving on, Chief Arnold.
Thank you.
Afternoon. First item of business is the resolution to approve the hiring of Bryson Partner. He did come in, so you guys can meet him.
That's who the gentleman is there.
So he has the mustache.
He looks
ready
like,
to go.
he look, I was like, this has got to be a firefighter or a pipe guy.
So, we decided not to swear him in until next week because his family's on vacation this
Okay.
week. So you guys asked to meet him, so.
We're gonna swear him in next Thursday?
Next, 2 Thursdays. Unless you want to do it special.
We have a special meeting next Thursday. We'll be swearing, Lindsay in,
Oh.
so we might as well do it next Thursday if you're okay.
Oh, he works on this.
He works that.
Oh, okay, perfect. So,
Any questions for?
you guys have anybody have any questions?
So what made you pick Franklin Township?
My dad's worked here for like almost 20 years, and I grew up in here and around the firehouse, so I've always wanted to work here.
It does seem to be a family type business,
Yeah.
and for the public, your father is?
Jeremy Partland.
He takes after his mother.
Well, I wanna say thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it.
The stash was rocking. That's a rocking stash, I like it. Do you smoke cigars too?
Not yet.
We're gonna change that.
It'll be changed.
Remember, there's a reason that you use an breathing device, because you don't wanna take the smoke in. Don't listen to this guy, you don't wanna ruin your lungs.
We'll talk.
Alright.
I'm a big cigar guy.
That's CBA.
And-
That's CBA.
All right, yeah, I I say that let's move ahead. He looks like a good young man. Where'd you get your training?
Delaware Career Center.
Awesome.
And then I went to paramedic school at Columbus State.
Did you?
Sweet.
Okay. So, this will be your first assignment, first house?
Yeah.
First full-time job, yeah.
He's
first-
working a couple different places like most guys do.
Yeah.
But this is your first full-time house that
Yeah.
you'll be at.
Awesome.
Well,
You know, are you gonna keep any of the other ones, you think?
For a little bit, just to
Sure.
have a little extra money, but
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
you firefighters can do that. You know, you work 24 and you're off.
yeah.
Well, you guys 48? Yeah, 48.
Put that money away and pay cash for your home.
Yeah,
Yeah, technically, you could work one of those days and
I know, yeah,
still have a day off.
yeah.
But,
I
yeah,
think
let's,
Mr. Chairman, I think there's a resolution.
yeah, is there, you got the resolution to read?
I do not have it. Excuse me, it's resolution 2024-025, resolution hiring Bryson.
Yeah.
We have a typo here, that's what I wanted to make sure. Partlow as a firefighter medic for the Franklin Township Fire Department. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves and endorses a recommendation of the fire chief to hire Bryson Partlow, effective March 25th, 2024, as a firefighter medic at the level of firefighter 1, at an annual salary of $54,400.35 for Article 19 of the IAFF Local 1441 Collective Bargaining Agreement, contingent upon his successful completion of a pre-employment pension requirement.
I, so moved as the resolution's written. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussions, I would ask for a second.
I will second.
Can I have a roll call, ma'am?
Yep. Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome
Thank you.
aboard.
Appreciate you.
Looking forward to
Be safe.
Thursday.
Yeah, looking forward to Thursday, 10 a.m.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Alright, thank you.
10 a.m. Yeah, you're good. Yep, perfect. My next thing is back, I believe in September of last year, I put in for, with your permission, on our annual grant for Mid Marathon Oil.
Yep.
And they have come through with $6,000 for some thermal imagers for the guys in the back of the fire truck, for just miniature personal ones. Awesome if you get stuck in a fire, or if you can't find anything in the old fashioned ways. So, do I need a resolution for that?
I will prepare one.
And we can bring it next. I don't have the check yet, so.
Okay.
That's why, since we're gonna meet on the 28th, if the trustees are good with this, I'll have a resolution for them. And,
I'll make a motion that we go forward. I mean, there was some, no, we move forward with the resolution process.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Did I bring it up last Thursday?
No, you brought up the.
2 meetings ago.
2 meetings ago. So, yeah, let's.
I actually have the award letter now, so.
All we need is a resolution accepted.
Yes. Last thing, update on the grant writing service concerning the SAFER grant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have really, I have some facts on the company and the gentleman who's writing it for us, but we still, I just got his W-9, we still don't have a concrete quote, so I think we can get a resolution and table this unless you guys have questions.
None that we haven't already asked, I don't believe. I mean, I don't have any. These gentlemen have any questions?
Wait a minute, he's asking for a
No,
resolution.
I'm not.
No, he's asking for.
Oh, not.
No, okay. He just wants to table it. He's just getting back to us.
So, yes, since you're having the discussion with the trustees, which is good, yeah, we just need, as you said, the information to prepare the resolution that I can present to the trustees. And, we can go forward.
Yeah.
So unless you guys have questions, I have one last thing. Quickly, with your permission, I'd like to submit an application for a Shriners grant. We've been awarded some decent sized grants from them in the past. We just found that it came available again. There's a local shrine right here in Grove City that we have a gentleman who's willing to back us or sponsor the grant request if we put one in. So we're thinking, depending on what his thoughts are, up to $50,000 worth of equipment.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with you pursuing the grant process.
Okay.
Any discussion on that, gentlemen? Hearing none, I would ask for a second.
I will second.
Roll call.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
That's all the
Well,
information
I have something for you. I would like for you, as Chief does, prepare for us the first meeting of the month, a report of the runs that each station has taken.
Oh, for sure.
And EMS, and how many of those, do you get the breakdown of how many of those are in Columbus?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, if we could do that, we just, let's show how, and we know how busy we know how busy you are.
Right.
Let's show everybody how busy you are.
Absolutely.
And, same with the police department. That's why, one of the reasons why we did it with them is to show the citizens that are paying for the services,
Absolutely.
how absolutely busy and overworked you are.
Absolutely. Just a highlight from this past week, we caught 3 juveniles setting fire to the Havenwood apartments.
Wow.
They're currently in jail, awaiting their indictment on arson.
Good.
So you just happened to be going through and caught them, or someone called?
The neighbors, they were vandalizing the apartment, the neighbors called, the police showed, apprehended them, and, they tried to set the apartment on fire multiple places, and it didn't work, because there's nothing in it.
Interesting.
What age range was these, juveniles?
Just juveniles, yeah.
They're out already.
What's that?
They're probably out already.
They're not at the moment.
Wow, this is a shock face.
Before you go. Yeah.
Gentlemen, do you have,
I have nothing. Thank you.
Chief, you just reminded me of something, you were standing there, and I wanna let the trustees know. Eric Schmidt is extending his light duty. Andrew, yes. Andrew Schmidt. Eric Pierce is out on PWC. So Andrew Schmidt is extending his light duty. Yes. 6 more weeks, so it'll be through May first. Per that excuse, he was supposed to get that to me today. He'll get an update, I'm not concerned. I mean, the intent of the physician was to let us know that he's gonna be. Yes. Yes, yes. But we'll get the updated that specifically says, but it's May 1? Yes. Okay.
but he is back working late duty.
He's the one working light duty, helping Todd. I just wanna make sure the trustees are aware of that. we extended his
I like that.
light duty. He's been extremely valuable, now he's
Yep.
working on the shrine. He's the one that found the Shriner grant and, made contact to get Shriner to sponsor it, so.
Good for him.
He's doing good work for him.
Gotta love him.
Yeah.
Shows that light duty is necessary,
Can't
and we
miss
have
it.
it, because good things can come from it.
It's better than sitting on the couch.
For him, yeah. Yeah, well, he'd be sitting without a job, so.
Alright.
Thank you. Anything from?
All right, Mr. Stevens. You are now in the hot seat.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Hi, Jim.
Only got a couple things on the agenda, for today. First thing that I've got is, sounds like today's grant day.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
All the grants we can find.
Well, there's a
It
grant
just-
that is offered to each department of the township every year due a TARMA, the MORE grant.
Mm-hmm.
I've applied for it, I think, for the last 6 years and have been approved and received funds for it. With the road department and with each department, it can be used for, PPE stuff, safety things, so on and so forth. And I just need to ask the board, since you guys have asked us now for grants, to bring it to your attention first and get your blessing to move forward. I just need a motion to go ahead and move forward with the MORE grant. I've already spoke with Mr. Mazer about it. It's $1,000 grant. And what we would be using it for would be for road safety signs, roll-up road safety signs and collapsible, mounts to go into the utility truck. We're getting the utility truck pretty much settled now. It's getting there.
I would make that motion for you to apply for the grant and move forward with it. I'd ask for, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I would, ask for a second.
I will second.
Ms. Lindsay, will you give us a roll call on this?
Yes. Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Just not to interrupt you, but I'm going to. If you haven't noticed, you know, and I'm gonna applaud, Mr. Mazer here. There's been a shift in the last couple of years. We've really focused, the amount of work that Mr. Mazur's done on grants alone is amazing, but he's also, not only that, he's talked to the department heads that he talks to. Every department head here knows that, and they'll testify to this, he's always saying, look for grants, look for grants, look for grants. And, you know, I think he's truly the driving force right now, on a day-to-day basis, behind these gentlemen reaching out and looking for every possible grant they can find. And it only helps the township, it betters us in the future.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
That is equated to probably over $15 million in grants that we've had.
That I'm aware, yeah. And
So $15 million that we did not have to ask for, monies that, come in from the public, even during COVID. Chief, you've got what, 4 cars?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've gotten, the backhoe and different things, so every department has benefited. Life packs, what's some other stuff that you've got from grants? You got the life pack, radios.
Cots.
Yeah, so that's things that are above and beyond your allowance.
This just struck me because all 3 department heads today talked to, and he made the statement, this must be grant day. And it's encouraging because it's money that we don't have it budgeted, but it's helping and it's producing for the township. And that's going to be one of the driving forces to take us to the next level as a township, to bring us into the 21st century. So
And that's what grants are for.
Yeah, that's what grants are for. This man's the driving force behind it, and I applaud him. Go ahead, Mr. Stevens.
He's an essential part of everything we do.
Every day.
I'll set you on that topic. The last thing that I have is every year, when the police department does their drug take-back day, we try to incorporate a tire drive on that day. I've been working with the County Board of Health. They want to partner up with us and do a couple different tire drives throughout the year. Unfortunately, they won't be able to partner up with us on April 27th, which is the next drug take-back day. I think last time we ended up with 100 and some tires, which I'd rather they drop them off here than us pick them up in the alleys.
Yeah.
Where we're getting them. I just know this past week, I think we collected almost 48 tires out of the alleys. So I just assume have them bring them here and drop them off. But I'd just like to ask the board if we can go ahead and incorporate that along with drug take-back day, and if so, if it's approved, then Nicole get it on all of our social media.
I'll make a motion that we do the tire take-back day the same day as the drug drop-off day.
April 27th.
And I would ask if there's any discussion.
Saturday.
I'd ask if there's any discussion on that. Hearing none, I'd ask for a second.
I will second that.
Roll call, yes.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Stevens, do you have anything else for us?
No, sir, I do not.
I have something to ask you. As I've asked, as Chief Smith's been doing, and now Chief Arnold, could you please bring stats the first meeting of every month of, a report basically of how many, how much pipe you put, storm drains you put in the ground, how many houses you've had. The lawn season's right around the corner. You're gonna be getting House Bill 50 houses all over the place again. How many alleys, things like that. What has your department done, say for the month of March? And there again, show the people where we know you're working hard. Every one of us up here know you're working hard, and your guys are working hard. But it's time to give back and show everybody.
I'll come up with some way to get stats put together, absolutely.
Okay.
Loads of brush and
Yeah. Cool. I hadn't, these gentlemen are surprised by this because I hadn't talked to them about it, but I think they're okay with it because, it's only showing off how good our departments are. Every one of our departments is outstanding. We have hiccups, yeah, everybody has hiccups. We have growing pains, everybody has growing pains. So it's life, but yeah. Thank you. You gentlemen have anything for him?
I have nothing, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lindsay?
Yes, but we already dealt with the supplemental appropriation number 3. That was
Okay.
for the.
So you only have bills and payroll for it.
That's all I got.
Awesome, I love it.
So, motion to approve payroll reports as written, presented on March 21st, 2024. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve payroll for the period beginning February 25th, 2024 through March 9th, 2024, and paid on March 15th, 2024, in the amount of $182,180.53.
So moved. On the motion, I'd ask for a discussion. Hearing none, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other one is motion to approve accounts payable presented on March 21st, 2024. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve accounts payable from March 7th, 2024 through March 21st, 2024, in the amount of $227,891.11 from check number 70061 to 70167 and electronic vouchers 424-2024 through 5/20/2024.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills and payables, and I would ask if there's any discussion.
Just a quick one.
Yes.
I was just curious, is there any other vendors that we need to set up by electronic voucher? Because it seems to
Yeah.
cut your work down more, or?
We can, and as I've gotten some notifications, from companies who've just let me know that they've switched over to those.
Sure.
And offered it, we have set up some things like that.
Okay, just as a cost savings in our time as well as
You
them
don't have to
getting
worry
it.
about mailing checks.
Right, right.
Yes.
So with that being said, sir, I second the motion.
All right. I already asked for discussion. Roll call, please.
Yep, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have the supplemental.
We already did
Oh,
it.
yeah, we did it though.
Do the supplemental,
Which one is that?
For the,
number 3,
the
the
cameras?
software?
Yeah,
Very good.
right, didn't we already discuss that?
No.
With the
We
police?
discussed it, but we did not take any action on that.
No, we did
Okay.
not. You're right.
That's why I forgot to get from Lindsay, it's in my pile here, but I'll be more than happy to take care of it. This is resolution number 2024-036. And it's a resolution to provide supplemental appropriations number 3 for the period commencing January 1, 2024 and ending December 31st, 2024. Whereas it is necessary to provide for the current expense and other expenditures of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, during the year ending December 31st, 2024, and whereas the annual appropriations resolution 2023-270 for the period from January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2024 needs amendment. So the sums presented on the attached exhibit A hereto attached B and the same are hereby set aside and appropriated for several purposes for which expenditures to be made for and during the year ending December 31st, 2024. So gentlemen, what we have here is an appropriation in regards to the redaction software.
Yes.
We're appropriating ARPA funds of $10,000. In case, so when the trustees do approve the resolution.
Yes. I think we, do you do the software today?
Well, we would need to pass this first to
Okay.
set that,
That's
and
right.
once this is set up and you're satisfied
You're
with it, then we would.
And then I'll have the resolution if you would like, either the
Thursday would be
28th
fine.
or,
It's up to you, whatever's easiest for you, because I know you've got a lot on your plate
we
right now.
can have it prepared for the 28th.
Okay.
Second for you, Mr. Okay.
Roll call.
All right, good. Now, wait a minute, second.
Oh, yeah, second, sorry.
Any discussion?
We are-
I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
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 Keeping it all together.
Thank you. Another one of them days of meeting after meeting after meeting. Anything else for us? Mr. Mazer, you have the floor, sir.
I apologize ahead of time, some of these resolutions, you know.
That's why we were buttering you up.
I'm gonna get the easy one out of the way first.
All right.
We need the Franklin County Engineering, they're gonna start on the roundabout project at Brown Road and Hopkins. And they would just like to let us know that project's gonna begin soon and report support. So, get the easy one out of the way.
You got a resolution on it? Or-
No, I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion that move forward on that we support it. Oh, yeah.
Even when you get off freeway exit ramps now, I'm like, how do I operate this one? I actually.
Robert's Road, man.
There's a diamond here.
270.
So, sir, is there any discussion?
Is there any discussion on this? Thank you, Vice Chair. No discussion, would I have a second?
I will second.
All right,
Jim?
yes,
John?
Yes.
Mike?
yes. That's the easy one.
Yes.
Looks like a few other easy ones.
The next resolution I have is 2024-028. And, it's obligations approved by the Township Administrator in the period of March 6, 2024 to March 19, 2024. Whereas the Board of Trustees in Resolution 2021-130 authorize the Township Administrator to approve or incur obligations of $10,000 on behalf of the Township in accordance with Section 507.11 of the Ohio Revised Code. And again, the period is March 6, 2024 through March 19, 2024, in the amount of $52,681.86.
Go ahead, John.
Question on that, so that total, do you find that the 10,000 ceiling limit on that is sufficient for what we do?
I do.
Okay.
I think it gives us, good checks and balances. And I think it helps the departments too with their.
Only question I have is on our agenda, here, it says it's 2028.
That's why I looked at that twice, so,
It just was misprint.
Okay, it was misprint on our agenda.
Yeah,
That's
the
in
actual
the- I'm sorry.
resolution is correct, it's
Okay.
28. So, Mr. Chairman, if there's no further question, I'd ask the chair that we.
I would move on the resolution as written, and, there's no other discussion.
I would second that.
Thank you.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Thank you, Mike.
Sorry.
I'm
Good
still getting used to it, and
I'm surprised I'm there, so.
go ahead, Mr. Major.
Resolution 2024-029, approving 80 hours of injury leave for Officer Troy Hale. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, the Board approves 80 hours of injury leave for employee Troy Hale for the period of March 10, 2024 to March 23, 2024 for Article 24 in the employee's collective bargaining agreement.
Okay, I like this. I see that the paperwork that we normally ask you, if it's in, we've got a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would move on the resolution to pay him. Any discussions?
Yes. Is there any, update as far as, you can share with the board as far as expectations?
We are hoping in the middle of
And then all, trying to remember the word. All statutory requirements have been met, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting, I was shocked that I'm sitting here looking at them, and
Yeah,
it's, I know, I get what you're
We can see
doing,
them and-
yeah. Is there,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I just received updated medical 14. he's looking, I can't remember exactly, either April 15th or April 18th was his return date.
Okay, that'd be great.
Is that full return
I don't know.
or
I do not
light
know.
duty? Okay.
It just, on the form, it just says return duty.
I really like this light duty thing, get them back as soon as possible.
It's nice, I think they like to come back and they can.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something we can do, and every department has something someone can do, so. Hearing that discussion, I'll ask for a second.
I will second.
Jim?
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you. Go right ahead.
All right. The next resolution I have is 2024-030. It's rescinding all prior COVID-19 policy resolutions from 2020 to present. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approved to rescind all COVID-19 policy resolutions from years 2020 to present. Employees are referenced to the collective bargaining agreement and or the employee handbook for guidance. Gentlemen, there must be 6,
Yeah, I was looking at
7,
that.
8 various policies. And being that the CDC and the Franklin County Board of Health has basically said the epidemic is over, I think we can rescind all these policies.
So moved as the resolution is written to rescind all those policies. Any discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a second.
I will second.
Okay, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Mazur.
The next resolution is Resolution 2024-032. It's a resolution approving the application for grants from the Congressional Direct Spending Appropriations. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the Board approves and authorizes the application for grant funding from the Direct Congressional Spending Appropriations Act for the construction of a boulevard on the Weston Mall property extending from West Broad Street to Georgesville Road. And this is the one that pertains to Sheriff Brown's office. We are working in conjunction with Cornell Roberts, who used to be a Franklin County engineer. He now works for an engineering firm called Manick and Smith here in town. And we are also working in conjunction with the owners of the property, Larry Rubin. This is a grant that we can get with the assistance of Sheriff Brown. We have our fingers crossed. That will start the construction of a boulevard through Weston Mall. It actually will start from the east side of Bob Evans, which is close to the intersection of Philippi and Georgesville. And we'll cut through the mall at roughly a 45-degree angle and connect at Georgesville Road. And I think that intersection is Shoppers Lane.
Yeah.
But this is the first application that will go. I'm just waiting on some letters of support from some local organizations. And we will have that application off Friday. If everything goes well this Friday, the application should be submitted.
So moved as the resolution is written. I believe it's it's critical that we do what we can for them. Any discussions?
Yes, sir. If I
Yeah.
may. So what kind of cost figure is this grant? Would you recommend?
In fact, I just had a lengthy teleconference with all the parties involved yesterday afternoon. They are looking, the safe spot is $1 million. Everybody's in agreement that maybe we should push the issue a little bit and ask for $5 million. I'm leaving that up to the experts.
Okay.
They do this all the time. So we'll see what happens.
The biggest question, how much is this costing the taxpayers of Franklin Township?
I'm so glad you raised that question. Absolutely nothing. If we receive the grant, any consulting fees, engineering fees, Any fees whatsoever are absorbed in the grant. There's no out-of-pocket expense to the taxpayers. Thank you for that.
Thanks for putting that out. Steve and I talked privately on this. He reached out to each of us, and thanks for getting that, because I forgot to point that out.
So one of the benefits as being a trustee for 11 years, I'm very pleased to be able to do that and serve in that role. From where we were when I started and what I've grown and learned and to where we are now, to be able to have a administrator, we said it in the beginning, as many people here, his job will bring in more than what he makes. And, you know, we already know 15 million that he's brought in. And then by being able to bring in this that costs the township nothing to add that boulevard, you know, it just continues to grow. So, and then these are things that we couldn't afford to do. It's like going on vacation and you can't afford anything else, but yet they give it to you. So that is great.
Yeah, instead of maintaining, we can move forward.
Absolutely.
So, good time. Mr. Mazur, anything else for us?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you.
No other questions?
No other questions. Hearing none, I would ask for a second.
I will second that.
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'm just hoping. Almost there, sir.
The next resolution I have is 2024-033. It's a resolution approving the application for grants from the State of Ohio One-Time Community Investment Fund. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves and authorizes the application for grant funding from the State of Ohio One-Time Community Investment Fund for the construction of a boulevard on the Westland Mall property extending from West Broad Street to Georgeville Road. And I will attach a synopsis of what this funding entails. This is actually through the state of Ohio. The governor initially set aside about $700 million for projects within the state. This particular funding entails $350 million of the $700 million. And it's exactly that. It's a one-time opportunity for the community to get a hold of some funding for a special project, I should say. And again, this is about $1 million that you can apply for. And as well, I'm waiting on getting some letters of support to attach with the grant application. But as I said, this will help with the, if we do get the funding, this will help with the construction of Westland Mall.
So one of the things, sir, if I may.
Yep.
I would like to commend our road department, our police department, and our fire department. You heard the name Cornell Robinson, which was our engineer. By having good working relations with all departments and what we've done, I know Jim's probably worked with him a lot with, because they're coming to roads and stuff of that nature. The trustees have worked well. We've attended his meetings. It was a great honor that he immediately thought of us for the one grant for the boulevard, and that he's worked diligently on this on behalf of Franklin Township. So I commend them, and I appreciate everybody, because we're all spokes of the will. You know, people are people, and if he found it difficult to work with us over the years, I don't think he would bend over backwards to give us $1 million grant.
Or $5 million.
Or $5 million.
And there will be one more coming through, I believe one more coming through Congressman Kerry's office. And that may be a week or two down the road. I'm just waiting to hear when that's ready to go.
So let it be known that today, March 21st, is Grant Day.
It's Grant Day.
And I should say, if this project comes to fruition, if it pans out, it will fall under the control of our
Yep.
super road department.
Should produce the road department. And you know, this is Grant Day. I mean, all joking aside, there is there is a massive amount of grants out there right now. Mr. Mazer and myself are working on several together. I don't wanna talk about them because I don't wanna jinx them. But, trying to find out information on them and all that, but it is his hard work. It really truly is. He's here every day grinding away and so.
Yeah, you are.
So, Mr. Chairman, that's
Yeah.
all I had. If
Yeah.
we can-
I would make a motion to accept that resolution as written. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, I would ask for a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Sir?
Yep.
Okay, then, the next one I have is resolution 2024-031. It's approving 528 hours of injury leave for firefighter Eric Pierce. Be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves 528 hours, it's 22 days. Remember, the 24 on, 24 off, right?
Sure.
Of injury leave for employee Eric Pierce for the period of 1/20/24 through 3/23/2024 per Article 34 of the Employees Collective Bargaining Agreement.
And Chief, if I may.
Go ahead.
He's the gentleman, is he the one who jumped out the window of the fire? And
Yep.
et cetera, so, okay.
He goes to the doctor tomorrow, so we hope to have him back.
Any other discussion on this? Hearing none, I would say that we would move with the resolution to accept it if all necessary,
Yes, sir.
paperwork has been brought in.
And what I will do, much like Troy Hale, I just got, even after this we're all prepared, I just got some updated medical that I'll attach to Hale's and Pierce's
Okay.
resolution.
I'd accept it as that, and I'd ask for a second.
No discussion?
I asked for a discussion
Okay.
first, yep.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay?
Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Yeah, you wanted to ask the chief, so I went ahead and went ahead.
Okay, no worries.
Yep.
I didn't know if Mr. Blevins had anything.
I know, I'll speak up, I have to say, I think Mr. Blevins would speak up, and if I didn't hear him, he's on my bad side.
The next resolutions, I apologize ahead of time, these are nuisance properties.
Oh, here we go.
I'm glad to see these.
I do-
That means
I am
that it's
too.
progress, so I'm glad to see these. We haven't had these in a couple meetings.
Nicole's out there working, she's out there. I have to read the first one,
And then
the
just the
whole,
address.
the whole,
And then-
resolution, and the next two I will condense down. So again, I apologize. The first one is 2024-037, a resolution setting hearing and providing notice concerning an unsafe building located at 3688 Plainview Drive, parcel number 140-002-018-00. Whereas the Franklin Township Building Department and Fire Department has found that certain building located at 3688 Plainview Drive, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, to be structurally defective and unsafe. And whereas pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 505.86, the Board of Trustees is authorized to remove, repair, or secure structurally defective and unsafe buildings if corrective measures are not taken within 30 days after notice to the property owners and lien holders of record. And whereas in connection with proceedings pursuant to 505.86 of the Ohio Revised Code, the board must also hold a due process hearing so that the property owners and lien holders may be heard. And whereas it is in the best interest of the township and its residents to proceed under Ohio Revised Code Section 505.86 in order to correct the structurally defective and unsafe condition of the property. The resolution, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the following resolution be and is hereby adopted. Be it resolved that the board hereby orders the following action in connection with certain buildings located at 3688 Plainview Drive, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, parcel number 140002018-00. Section 1 is provided in the Ohio Revised Code 505.86. The board directs the township administrator to obtain a title search of the property and to notify the record owner and all lien holders of the property that the building thereon has been found to be structurally defective and unsafe by the Franklin Township Fire Department, and that the building must be removed or repaired or secured to the satisfaction of the board, or arrangements that made to remove, repair, or secure the building within 30 days from receipt of the notice. Section 2, the board shall hold a hearing on April 18th, 2023 at the Franklin Township Hall located at 2193 Frank Road, Columbus, Ohio, to allow the owners and the lien holders to be heard and to determine whether or not the board shall remove, repair, secure the building. If the building is not removed, repair or secure arrangements made for such work before the time for the hearing. The administrator is authorized and directed to notify the owners and all lien holders of the date, time, place, and purpose of this hearing. If after the hearing the board determines it shall remove, repair, or secure the building, all expenses incurred in such work shall be paid out of the unappropriated monies in the township general fund, and all such costs and expenses shall be reported to the Franklin County Auditor for entry upon the tax duplicate as a lien upon the property and for collection and reimbursement to the township's general fund as provided in section, it's provided in the Ohio Revised Code, section 505.86.
So moved on the resolution. Is there any discussion?
Sir?
Yes.
Chief, is this the one that is, I know Plainview goes down, but is that the one that's in the concrete alley?
No.
I'm not
Because,
familiar with this
I saw
one.
the picture of it, because that concrete alley, if you could take a look at some of those as you turn in off of Brookside, I don't know how people are even living there or what's going on there. No, that's us. Yep, that whole concrete alley is us. It goes right along Wilson Road. So, sir, that's all I have.
Okay, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not the same one.
No,
That's little.
That's that one.
Yeah.
Then we're moving on to Little.
Okay, Resolution Ballard?
Yeah.
All right. Resolution 2024-038, a resolution setting hearing and providing notice concerning an unsafe building at 1846 Little Avenue, parcel number 140003234-00. Be it resolved that the board hereby orders the following action in connection with the certain buildings located in 1846 Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. Parcel number 140003234-00. As provided in the Ohio Revised Code, section 505.86, the board directs the township administrator to obtain a title search of the property and notify the record owners and all lien holders of the property that the building thereon has been found to be structurally defective and unsafe by the Franklin Township Fire Department, and that the building must be removed, repaired, secured to the satisfaction of the board, arrangements made to remove, repair, secure the building within 30 days from the receipt of notice. And the board shall hold a hearing on April 18, 2023 at the Franklin Township Hall located at 2193 Frank Road, Columbus, Ohio, to allow the owners and lien holders to be heard and determine whether or not the board shall remove, repair, secure the building. If the building is not removed, repair, secure, or arrangements made for such work, before the time of the hearing, the administrator is authorized and directed to notify the owners and lien holders of the date, time, and place and purpose of this hearing.
So moved as the resolution is written. I would ask if there's any discussion. Hearing no discussion, I would ask for a second.
I'll second, sir.
Okay, Jim?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Go ahead with the next one.
Resolution 2024-039. It's a resolution setting hearing and providing notice concerning an unsafe building at 776 Little Avenue, parcel 140-002326-00. Be it resolved that the board hereby orders the following action in connection with certain buildings located at 1776 Little Avenue, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. Parcel number 140-002326-00. As provided in the Ohio Revised Code, section 505.86, the board directs the township administrator to obtain a title search of the property and to notify the records owner and all lien holders of the property that the building thereon has been found to be structurally defective and unsafe by the Franklin Township Fire Department, and that the building must be removed, repair, or secured to the satisfaction of the board, or arrangements made to remove, repair, or secure the building within 30 days from the receipt of the notice. The board shall hold a hearing on April 18th. Here's the typos on it. It should be April 18th, 2024.
Yeah, this is.
At the Franklin Township Hall located at 2193 Frank Road, Columbus, Ohio, to allow the owners and lien holders to be heard and to determine whether or not the board shall remove, repair, or secure the buildings. If the building is not removed, repaired, or secured, or arrangements made for such work before the time set for the hearing. The administrator is authorized and directed to notify the owners and lien holders of the date, time, place, and purpose of this hearing.
So moved as the resolution is written with the date changes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion. Hearing no discussion, I would ask for a second.
Sir, before I second the back portion, I don't know if we're allowed to just mark out Mr. Horn's name, but just for the record, that it has Mr. Horn instead of Mr. Blevins.
Yes.
So
That's something that
with-
needs to be.
Gentlemen, why don't we do this? Since we're gonna meet on the 28th, I will clean all these resolutions up and I'll present it to you on the 28th.
Up to you, sir.
I would rather have clean documents.
I would too, so. That means we have to listen to it again.
No, it's on record, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So there's, well, okay,
We
yeah,
still
I
have
was
to
gonna
vote.
say, yes.
Yeah.
Any other further discussion?
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Second?
I will second.
Okay, Jen?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Anything else for us?
No, sir, thank you.
Mr. Fleshman, do you have anything for us?
I do not at this time.
I do not at this time.
I do want to say one thing. real
Okay.
quick. Chief, when I go through my paperwork and I get things after each meeting, I put them in my binder. I sit down on Sunday before this following, so past Sunday, when I was going through everything, I found those pictures that you shared with us from the drug bust. The meeting the last meeting 2
Oh,
weeks
yeah.
ago got out of, sorts, and so I just wanted to let you know that I thought that was a great job for your department, and I really appreciate it. And we even had an opportunity to discuss it with your men because we were in a meeting with them a little earlier, but it had to end abruptly also. So would you please thank you, and would you pass that on to your men?
Absolutely.
So I just wanted you to know.
And the sheriff's department.
They were big.
Great job, everybody all the way around, and I really do appreciate it.
Got some-
And I was able to give it more attention, you know, in my own home and take time. So I just wanted you to know that, okay?
Quite a bit of narcotics off the street in that $2. Anything else, anybody? All right, hearing nothing, meeting adjourned.